Welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, in person today is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
How's it going?
Brought my recording equipment back over to your wonderful office.
Yes, we are sitting across from each other once again.
Which means that you're in for a ride.
Yeah, these ones always go a little bit off the rails. But that's the fun of it.
That is the fun of it.
So what are we doing tonight, Trevor?
We're going to just play some regular old click pitch.
Yeah.
Where we've each got a random word generator throwing a single word at us. We're going to throw those words that we get thrown at each other. And, yeah, just see if they collide in the middle and make a game baby. And then, you know...
That's how babies are made, right?
That's
you
how
throw things at each other and if they collide. I mean, essentially.
That's how it worked, you know, as far as I know. I've got one.
You've got one. I've got four. You'd think I'd have a better idea, but I don't know.
You just mash things together, don't you?
Again, essentially. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, click.
3, 2, 1, click. Okay. Affair.
Chopper.
Okay. Oh. I don't know why, but my mind just went to Chopper Reed and Eric Banner, and now I'm just thinking, what about a point and click game?
I don't know if I want to go with Australia's, most famous fucking, I don't know, violent killer. Yeah. I mean, my mind went to helicopter, or potentially just something that chops.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of these two serial killers having an affair. Like,
ooh, okay, that could be interesting.
That their partners don't know about, obviously, and they obviously don't know about their life together.
Okay,
their alternate life, and then when they meet that other person on the job.
Are they both serial killers, or is one like a detective and one's a serial killer? So it's more like on the opposite side of things. I'm sort of seeing a bit of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith with like the agents, but
one's a serial killer and one's an FBI profile.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just a point and click game, and you play the serial killer, and you get to use chainsaw on body parts.
Oh God, we're going right off the bat into the morally dubious games. Okay, could this be a Heavy Rain-esque, playing both characters from different perspectives? Yeah.
So you get to play the spouse who. Doesn't...
Yeah. You have some scenes there with
you get to play all 4 characters. You get to play the FBI detective's spouse. You get to play the FBI detective. You get to play the serial killer, and you get to play the serial killer's spouse. Yeah. In different scenes, and it's sort of like that's how the narrative sort of goes forward. Now, you being the... someone who playing the game, you know enough about this... what's going on, so you know what you're sort of looking for.
There's going to be a bit of dramatic irony there as you play one of the spouses now that it's been revealed, that the affair's going on. You're going to get the dramatic irony there as you play the two having the affair before they've realised who each other is. You'll literally have them pillow talking, and the FBI gives up some information about her, who she's been hunting this whole time, and you're realizing, they're there in the bed next to you.
Or what if you kind of go the other way, and the serial killer is like the other person, not even part of the relationship, but you're realizing. So one of the characters is
like one of the spouses. Then
one of the spouses,
so not someone who's involved in the affair.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be interesting. So basically, discovering that their spouse
is the serial killer that their lover is
right. Okay, that's
hunting.
That's actually a bit more. That gives some interesting tension there between those relationships for sure.
And then they're starting to realize that maybe this was a really good thing that they got involved in, and it's that telling themselves that they're actually doing the right thing now. and it's
but then you find out
rationalizing the whole.
But then you find out that the spouse is sort of a bit of a Dexter style, only killing bad guys to get to the really bad guy who like did something horrible in their past, and the FBI agent is like a horrible, violent person. Just to really fuck with them, you know. They end up leaving their spouse and staying with this FBI agent, and then finding out that they're like completely abusive.
They're
and
just domestically like, abusive and like
no regard for the law, just like kill indiscriminately under the guise of being a cop.
Oh God, just there's something about that, and I think the Heavy Rain thing, I think you wouldn't want to go where Heavy Rain did end up going, which was the PlayStation Move controllers and stuff, and doing those weird sort of things. But
and I mean, you don't even have
QTEs,
to do you could do the QTEs. I mean, I guess that's a pretty key part of the Heavy Rain style things, but it could also just be that sort of slower moving third person adventure, basically.
Third-person adventure where you're just experiencing a story through everyday interaction.
Yeah, it's not like full-on inventory puzzles and stuff. It's more just, okay, this scene's going to play out. You've got some control over it. You can find things, look at things. Yeah, like do some...
Now they're looking through their email, and it's like, do they notice, you know, in amongst all this spam, do they actually notice, you know, that threatening email that was sent out? And okay, they didn't notice it now. Cool. The other character that you're playing got away with that, you know.
Well, and that's the interesting thing you can do in those sorts of things as well, is have a bit of branching, which I guess is the other key part of the
Heavy Rain.
David Cage, is that the guy? Yeah, Quantic Dream stuff. Where you could have had that character decide whether or not to send that email.
Exactly.
And then, you know, even if you as the player knows it's there, whether or not that other character discovers it could then change things.
Do you want them to find it?
Well, that's it.
Like, do you want to keep them in that? Who do you actually embody a little bit more? And you just
how do you want this to play out?
You move the other people, you know, like chess pieces on the board to try and get this person to win, and
that's it. Get the good ending for that character.
But I think if you had a good ending for each of the characters,
it's a little bit like oh shit, what's that game we play? Fiasco. Fiasco.
Yeah.
Where you're sort of figuring out how good or bad the endings are based on, you know, the way things tilt.
The way things tilted. And you could even play with those rules in the background. Like,
I mean, that could be interesting. I mean, so much of that is, you know, role play and improv, but
God, I reckon playing Fiasco now that we've actually had some Impro training. I know that we did it early on, but it's like if we got a group of people from Impro to actually play that together, like
podcast idea.
I don't think I haven't thought of it.
I was just thinking though, and this is more relevant to our current podcast, a version of Fiasco that is almost like a play by email, by which I mean very asynchronous.
Kind of like Frozen Synapse, where you both loaded up on the...
Well, but I'm thinking like...
And it's turn-based?
Essentially what I'm saying, what I'm thinking is like, you get your characters at the beginning, and then it's almost like a cinematic builder. It's where you build a scene, and maybe you can do the voices for it, you can do whatever, you know... But you go, okay, this is the scene I'm building, but you have some of those Fiasco rules in the background where it's like, oh, everyone else is going to choose how this ends. You know, and maybe it's even that you pass off the scene halfway through and someone else ends it and then starts their scene, sort of thing.
Real collaborative sort of.
Yeah, but then you essentially end up with a movie, right, that you've improvised together on the fly. If you gave them the good tools for that, with some character creation, some animation stuff, some, you know, sets and different things, that could be interesting.
I think we should click again.
Yeah,
that was
all right, and we got a little bit of a 2 for the price of 1 there.
Yeah. Ooh, this is fun.
Okay,
tube
penicillin.
So you can take tube in multiple different ways. You can take it as a test tube. You can take it as, you know, as the Londoners may call it, the tube.
A subway. It could be a water slide.
It could be a water slide. It could also be the tube TV.
Yeah, the boob tube.
Yeah. So many different ways that you could take it. And
So penicillin, where my mind went is someone cuts themselves on a rusty water slide. I don't know why it would be metal.
Because it's made of it's made of steel.
It's an old steel water slide. It's one of those
very
old,
heavily oxidized now, obviously. And
it's like those old like super fast slides that you'd have at parks that like burn your skin off in the sun, but someone's just put a hose at the top.
Yeah.
And
they thought it was a water slide because as you're looking down at, there's like the metal tubes that sort of run down the side, and there's holes throughout the whole thing. Sure, they're rusted through.
They're rust patches that are broken through.
But, you stick the water down there and it kind of spits out every now and again.
So to jump a little bit further from this and just sort of take the general idea of it, a game set at like a rundown water park could be cool.
It could be. And look, again, all we're looking at is how did we get to this part?
Yeah.
A rundown water park. There's something about it. You see an inner tube on the ground and go, there's your tube. And
the water slides are tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Effectively, we've got a water slide now, and it's a water slide park.
We don't have to justify our leaps.
Okay. Now that we're here.
Yeah. What slide do you want to go on? I want to go on the Ripper Dipper.
And I want to go on the Slasher.
Ooh. You're going to need penicillin after that one.
Okay. Again, I'm feeling horror. Like...
Okay.
I'm feeling this is dead of the night. Like...
Yes, well...
Teenagers sneaking in...
Hang on. I do like horror, but to put a bit of a spin on it, because I feel like going dead of the night is the easy way out.
Yeah.
Can we do horror in a rundown water park at noon? Like, can we make it scary even though it's completely bright? And I feel like there's a lot of, like, dark places, like things crawling out of these water slides. There's pits of murky water that things could come from, or there's still a lot of unknown there.
So I have recently watched a video about a water slide horror movie sort of thing where it did kind of happen during the day, and someone had basically put like these blades across.
Oh my god.
This
more Saw-esque than monster movie.
Someone had actually done this, and people were going down the water slide and then hit it and just don't get fully sliced until like the third person comes down and pushes them through it, and it's like and it was like, oh my god, it was a B movie. It was fucking terrible as anything. But I was like,
I feel like this needs to be more of a terror sort of feeling.
What I would like is you take that Until Dawn sort of storytelling of this is the group of teenagers that have come across this abandoned water park,
Yep.
And while they're there, like they start, hearing noises.
Yeah.
Maybe it's over a week or something like this, and there's just,
Well, yeah, I kind of like that it's like this group of teenagers and they've found a way into this abandoned water park, and so this is their new hangout spot. They come in every day after school, and this couple's making out behind the old
water filtration,
whatever the pipe system, and these people are just fucking around and smashing things because they're it's fun when you're a teenager to do that, kicking holes through the rusted parts of the slides and stuff, and then one of them kicks all the way through, and then they can't get their leg out, and then something's pulling on them. And
I mean, just even the idea of you break into the old pump room and like there's a skeleton or something in there that of some previous attendant of the park or something like that who's desiccated.
The old caretaker.
There's something about finding out that there's something more that has happened here in the past, and there's a reason why this abandoned thing should be left abandoned.
That's it. There's a reason why other teenagers haven't been hanging out here. There's a reason why there's not graffiti all over it. Like, it's one of those places where people know not to go.
Yeah.
And these teenagers are going to find out why.
Yeah. I think, again, with a lot of the sort of stuff that we always go into, we go very highbrow and all this sort of stuff. What if we scoped this down a bit and thought about it more like a sort of like a 2D esque version of like an Until Dawn, or so scoped right back. Something that you could almost imagine this is like Until Dawn, but it's on the SNES.
Yeah, so like smallish character sprites. You've just got a big 2D space that you're exploring essentially.
Yeah, and just the idea of, as you leave this scene, it's like, okay, now you go to the map, and it's like, it's sort of like, it's the
go
map that you first saw, and it's
go
like,
over
now you
to
can go over to
the
these
towel
things and
place or whatever, and
it's like, okay, we need to go to the water filtration place because something's must be blocking
something's
because
going to happen there.
The water hasn't. The water's all rusty and all this sort of stuff. So maybe we can turn on the
clean it out. They're trying to get one of the slides going again. They're like, this one's still got power. Like, you've got a puzzle there, sort of thing. But then, it plays out.
I don't know. I feel like that idea of doing that emergent storytelling of the Until Dawn, of the Quarry and that sort of stuff, but doing it in that old school format is...
Well, because you and I have started a couple of those games and then never come back to them. Have you played through any of them particularly far? Like, did you go back on your own?
I've watched a run through of Until Dawn, and I'm like,
right.
I know.
So is there a lot of branching and stuff? Then is that what it is? Okay,
because basically throughout the whole thing, you can actually do a run where no one dies, sort of thing. And then there are runs where, of course, this person died at the very start, so therefore that's more so in Until Dawn, I believe. You can actually have a perfect run through where no one dies.
Yeah.
But I know the Quarry, there are, quite a few scripted deaths and that sort of stuff. But I just like the idea of being able to, what would have happened if this character was in here, and what would have happened if...
Yeah, you'd have to be good at writing those different scenes and, like figuring out, okay... How does this vary?
Joey was the voice of reason, and now he's not. Now he got killed, because he fell through a rusted slide and got impaled on.
Because he tried to go down one of those drop slides where the trapdoor opens out, and it closed on him halfway.
So his legs went all the way down and got impaled, but he's still
his torso's just stuck in the tube up there.
The top part of his chest is still up there.
Yeah,
we don't want to look. But then
now, you do look and it's gone.
Now Phoebe and Jessica, they're arguing, and because Joey, the voice of reason, isn't there anymore, they get into a fight that ends up with one of them impaled on a spike.
Yeah,
because
we know that Phoebe's a fucking cold-blooded killer without Joey around.
Yeah. I mean. There's a reason why, she's one of the best Mortal Kombat players in the world, because she's a stone cold killer.
Yeah, exactly.
She does those fatalities, as if she's actually doing them for real. Because in this game, she is
a little disconnected from reality, but you shouldn't have let Joey die.
Shouldn't have let Joey die. In fact, she's the one that closed the trapdoor.
Yeah, so she's even more, traumatized.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, click. Waterproof.
Resort.
So this is the opposite of the last game.
It's an abandoned resort. It's in the morning.
It's abandoned Disneyland, like a Disneyland.
I mean, you have literally just gone to a resort.
Yes.
So you have a little bit more... sort of feelings as to what could actually happen at a resort for gameplay. You
could eat too much at the buffet.
Mm-hmm.
You could find out what's in the buffet. That's something.
Yeah.
For some reason, they kept having I say for some reason. Because it's a kid-friendly resort, they had character meetings, Dora would just stop by and
Oh, yeah, because SeaWorld's got that whole Nickelodeon land and all that sort of stuff. So, did she blink?
No. And I was going to say, that's pretty creepy. Just Dora, as Dora, we know.
Yeah.
From, our previous podcasts many years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, is it from this podcast? No, it was from Two Sweary Dads, but there was a whole run there for a while that we did about Dora just not blinking and the camera just slowly over the course of half an hour just starts moving into her face. Yeah. And it's like...
After she's asked you a question, right? Because she, breaks the fourth wall and she's waiting for you to answer.
Yeah.
And you better say the right thing. Or fucking Boots will come and rip your face off.
It's the map, it's the map, it's the map.
Is there anything... So, waterproof resort. Maybe let's see if we can take it in a different direction. Mm-hmm. What else could resort mean? You could resort could be like a last resort.
Last resort, yeah. What if the whole game is you trying to just build this bathroom?
Okay, yeah.
I think maybe we could do it. Maybe we could do it in VR or something like that.
I could definitely see a game that taps into the frustration of renovating, having something there. Yeah.
And someone comes through and a la, the block, where you have to have it perfectly waterproofed.
Mm-hmm.
Then someone comes through and checks and goes, no, it hasn't passed. And they won't tell you what was wrong.
Yeah, well, that's an aspect of it for sure. And so I'm almost picturing almost like those power wash simulator games or something, or like those house flipper games and stuff. Where, in VR, you've got a plan for how you're going to redo this bathroom, and you've got to do a bunch of demo. That causes problems because you find fucking rats in the walls, you find mold, you find, faulty, not up to code plumbing or whatever.
And fucked up electricity because, if you get water in anywhere near that electricity, it's throughout the whole bathroom.
Yeah. And so...
do you tile all the way to the ceiling? I mean, in current bathrooms,
if you want tile everywhere, just tiles everywhere. But you better be good at grouting. You better have increased your grouting skill.
Yeah, I'm really liking that blue paint that you've sort of got to paint everywhere to make sure it's all fully waterproof. If you're putting tiles all the way to the ceiling, it means that everything in that bathroom needs to be blue to start off with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And making sure, did you use the level on the drain? Is the water going to flow down into the drain, or is it flowing into the middle of the room?
Let's get some deep water sims going here to
fluid simulations.
Yeah,
yep,
for sure. Put drains, then you just add a drain. It's like, oh shit, it's going that right. Just put a drain there.
Just put a drain there.
Let's just make the whole floor drain.
Yeah. What is wrong with a whole floor drain?
Yeah. It's like, why don't they make the whole plane out of the black box? Why don't you just make the whole bathroom out of drain?
Yeah.
Then the water can't pool.
It can't. It literally can't. It'll all get sucked away into a pipe.
Yeah. And you just have to surround the room with a pipe.
And you just got to be careful that you don't duck down. Otherwise you'll go in, it'll take the whole bathroom in like Mario.
Yeah. Ducking is the...
Okay, you go to use your bathroom for the first time, and you reach down for the shampoo, and you realize, oh no, I've got to get all the way down, and it just and the whole bathroom just gets sucked.
Sorry, now I just want this whole. Now I just want this to be a realistic plumbing game, except Mario rules apply, but they just get in the way of shit. And it's like fucking bubbles and shit keep coming out and taking your things away. Piranha plants constantly coming out of the pipes. All you're trying to do is grout.
And a piranha plant, a la, your Venus flytrap or your Jupiter flytrap or Sol flytrap, as per last week's episode.
I don't remember that. Anyway.
Yeah.
You just edited it.
I just edited it. Yes, I edited it late. Shut up. But, the idea of, having... different things come out of the pipe.
Yeah.
sometimes you may go down into a secret level. Sometimes you may not. Like, you don't know. It depends on what pipe you chose.
But I like the idea that it's still realistic. So, like, you're stepping on a pipe and you accidentally duck down, but it's not big enough for you. So your foot just starts getting sucked into it, and like you have to yank it out, and it's just like, oh fuck, not again.
Yeah.
Or a fucking little
a tiny
piranha plant comes out of the
and fires the
25 mil pipe or what, I don't know pipe sizes, but
that's
little
fucking
fireball,
little fireball
dodging fireballs constantly.
You look over at your sink and it's like, oh shit! Like
there's those little fish in the sink and jumping out.
You're like doing some stuff and all of a sudden you hear this do 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 do. It's like shit. I must have let some Mario fish in here.
Someone. You're trying to do plumbing and you just hear in the background, it's like, oh, fuck, someone died in the sink again. It's a little Mario corpses in there. Got to pick him out.
You got to plunge the drain because they all got stuck in there.
Yeah, just full of little Mario corpses. All right, 3 to 1. 3 to 1. We've still got time.
That's so fucking good.
Plunder.
Complication.
Ooh, complication through plundering.
Yeah. Now, what is actually plundering? Is that just stealing treasure and shit?
I mean, that's my understanding of the word. I don't know what the sort of true definition is.
Pillage and plunder.
Yeah, what's the difference there?
We know what the other word
plunder
is. It's an R. It's an R word, and we don't want to even say that.
No, we're not going that direction. Steal goods from, typically using force, and in a time of war or civil disorder.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we typically associate it with pirates or Vikings, perhaps. I feel like Vikings pillage and pirates plunder.
Could be, yes.
What sort of complications? Is this some sort of modern plundering or like low-stakes plundering? Is this you're in an office environment and people keep plundering? It's like, damn it. Jimothy's plundering again. I talked to HR about this already.
There are rules for office plundering.
Must be in a time of war only, by which we mean our lunchtime. Yeah.
Or Nerf war, whichever breaks out first.
Yeah.
Peacetime? That's home time. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, no plundering through peacetime. Then it's just thievery.
Yeah.
And that's not acceptable.
No, not at all.
Now I'm just picturing people getting really into it in an office environment and like wearing pirate hats and shit. Just like not doing their work anymore. They're trying to steal people's office supplies or something.
Oh, God. I'm just imagining, Janet is 100% the captain. Like she's got captain material written all over her face.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just imagining how cool it would be to have the two factions of
with their flags
floor.
up on their cubicles.
Yeah. HR versus
IT legal. Yeah, okay, that's more boring. So that's better.
Yeah, there's something about a Nerf war, where they're just firing these tiny little darts. And
do you do a bit of like
they get no work?
Do you do a bit of like Office Simulator where you do have to do certain jobs, but like people could attack at any time, and you're just like, you got to take them out with your Nerf guns?
I mean, one of your best things to do as a HR representative is just set auto reply on, and
yeah.
That's
an upgrade, though. Initially, you got to keep hitting the button to reply the same mass emailed message to everyone.
Yeah, because they IT, who are a neutral party in this. If you want to call them up, you got to almost parlay and let them up and
yeah. They come up in their little rowboat. It's like a server rack or something.
I don't know why, but I really want to, play out that when IT arrives and stuff like that, it cuts back to, you know, a typical office environment, and they're just like putting a USB into the computer, and you're all standing in the ground waiting, and they type in something.
I do like the idea.
They take it out, they close the door, and all of a sudden it turns back into Sea of Thieves style.
I was going to say, I do like
graphics.
the idea of it being this sort of imagination land of, these ships, which are the cubicles on these fleets of ships on either side.
Rowboats are literally just wheelie chairs. They're strapped together, and you got like Janet and two other HR representatives sort of just
like got sticks to pull them along.
Well,
just pushing them along with their feet.
Just doing it with their feet, because it's even funnier.
Such a classic thing. But I think even in the imagination world, like, it still looks like that. You can see the water, like they're on the water, but the way they move is still they're on a seat and like pushing themselves along. Yeah, maybe it looks a bit more boat-like. I don't know, but
you see the boat, but you don't see them moving their arms, but you just see that ghost of their
legs,
legs moving. There is something about that. I love.
It's a fun world to play with. I don't know what the gameplay is. Really. Is it like almost an RTS sort of thing? Are you, or are you playing one?
I think it's more that you are playing
the captain.
You're playing a faction,
right?
And you play through it kind of like a single player. You're doing.
Are you one of the characters in that faction?
One of the characters in that faction. And you know you're not Captain Janet. No one can be Janet. But you're one of the new hires.
One of the crew, yeah.
You're a brand new hire for either HR or legal, and you go through the missions on that side,
right,
and kind of like StarCraft 2, where you can then play the other side,
yeah.
And you know what? You get to play a third faction if you finish both. You get to play IT,
okay.
And them coming up and seeing how fucking stupid these two are.
It's just one level. It's just walking up as Nerf fucking bullets are flying back
with
and forth.
Fucking USB.
Yeah, you've got a USB.
And you plug it in and you do like a couple of QTEs.
Yeah.
Then you take it out again and it's like, oh God.
It's like campaign complete.
Walk down the stairs again and it's like, oh, another email, and you walk back upstairs.
Turn off a computer, turn it on again.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yeah. The typical things.
Yeah. And then you get down, shake all the Nerf darts out of your hoodie.
Yeah. I mean, IT obviously wears hoodies. They're sponsored by them.
Oh, I said hoodie, but yeah, hoodies, fine.
Yeah. I thought you said hoodies. So.
No. Yeah. They can wear it.
I love that idea. I love the fact that, they're in
when they forced everyone back to the office, that was their conciliatory thing, is the company gave everyone in IT hoodies.
Yeah, and brand name hoodies. None of this.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this bullshit.
It doesn't. It's like what, $100 or something. It doesn't make up for it, but better than a pizza
IT
party.
Sponsored by Hoodie.
That's the name of the game. On the high ITs.
Oh, that's pretty damn good on the high ITs.
War on the high ITs, yeah, something like that. All right, I think, is that it?
That's it.
Oh, well. Thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming over, Trevor.
And I just came over. Like, brought all my shit.
Yeah, I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
But also I appreciate our
listening audience.
Yeah.
And the new listening audience on YouTube.
Yeah, you may be listening to this on YouTube now that we've added it there. We're getting recommended on some really random videos. So, I don't know, if you came from a weird fucking Biden v. Trump.
And you're still here now, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. But you can find all of our episodes online at podchaser.com/Bitstorm and on YouTube now.
YouTube.com/Bitstorm.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or Bitstormcast, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, just search for Bitstorm.
Find some point-click replay.
We had like 2 other videos up there, 3.
Oh, there's definitely 3 because we definitely did the 3 start.
Did we release the third one?
Yeah, we released Space Quest 1, 2, and 3. We didn't release Space Quest 4, which I've still got there.
Yeah,
I've got it there, and we've got half of Space Quest 5 done.
Oh, that's right. Well, eventually, they're not going to release another one anytime soon. Maybe we'll do Space Venture when that. I got an update about that the other day.
Yeah, version 2's coming out. I'm like, God,
they upgraded to Unity. Anyway, leave us a review or something. I don't know. Where was I adding that? Go and listen to the rest of them.
If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, we own that song. Yeah. Or at least we're part owners. So we are allowed to play it. You can't claim ownership because, we were part of the band and Rob said that we can use it.
It is up on Bandcamp. I don't know. Does Epic Games own it now? Maybe they probably put something in the terms that we didn't notice, and
maybe
they own everything.
Either way, you can find that song Mad Defiance off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust on kuradust.bandcamp.com. You can download the whole thing. You can listen to it for free. It's on a copyleft license, so
you can use it with attribution. I think.
Yeah, just tell us that you're using it and say that you love the song, and
that's it.
That's cool.
So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And did you turn it off and on again, Trevor?
No, I've just been firing Nerf darts at it for the last half hour.
That should do it. I mean, that'll probably work.